Hi, welcome to TFLP Microcasters. I'm Lucas. I'm joined tonight by Christian
What up?
and Anna.
You started right as I was making my crazy face. I appreciate it.
There you go. So
Good
yeah, so
timing.
tonight, we have all these exciting toys that come out tonight. We're going to talk instead of about the cool toys. We're going to talk about some repaints.
Because I asked Christian what we should do, and he said, let's do a theme of diet clone thingies.
Okay, sure.
It was a theme. Last time the theme was the word road. That's so slightly.
Yeah.
Lucas, if you don't want me to be responsible for the programming, you can have input, but you didn't today.
True.
That's
I
true. I
chose.
did not. Well, before I had mentioned about all these other cool, figures like Blitzwing or Cosmos or Override. I guess that's it.
Would
Well,
you like to switch to
Cosmos
one of those?
were...
I can go get one.
No. We're doing this.
We
The title is
advertise,
this.
Christian. We don't...
Oh
we
yeah,
don't
Delta
lie.
Magnus. Oh, and then also, what's the blaster? Shatterglass blaster. Is that just
It's
blaster?
probably Blaster.
Just
Okay.
Blaster.
So-
I
I can
decided
review
not to
that
get that
comic
one.
really quickly. It was terrible.
Oh, actually, damn it. I want the comic because I actually want to read those, but I don't want that toy.
Well, Anna, don't you worry. I've got you covered.
Because you don't give a damn about the comic.
No.
The Magnus
Okay.
issue was pretty good. The Blaster issue,
Yeah.
terrible.
I'm going to
Terrible.
read the Magnus issue after I catch up on the other ones because I
Yeah.
have the Magnus sitting around, so might as well read his issue.
We could have
There
done
you go.
Magnus. You asked me. I provided an
I
option.
like your idea because
go
I
through.
really wanted to talk about Road Burn
That's
Burnout, whose name
not
I can
really
never
her name. There
remember.
we go. Fine. Let's talk about Burnout first.
But let's do it for
Here
a second.
she
Let's
is.
do it for a second because I want to talk the longest.
Okay, God.
Let's talk about Clamp first.
Fine. That's not his name. His name's Clampdown. Here he is.
So
Look.
I don't recall, Anna, these particular molds, like you have, like we've had like 50 of the Clampdown mold, right? So I'm
Yeah,
assuming the
I
Lambo,
do
you have that
have.
one.
I do have one of those somewhere as somebody.
But then the Burnout or whatever you don't have.
No, I
like the
didn't get
skids?
skids. So
Okay, so this is the
Burnout.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that one I just skipped because it is a good looking deco. I need more mold diversity.
Well, I feel like I might as well just complete the set because I don't have the
Yeah.
masterpiece, so I might as well get the.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
So the Clampdown, he is neat. He is a little inaccurate depending on how you like your sources. Because he should have red legs and red arms, but then that kind of makes him look like Red Alert, which they just re-released somehow. That was weird. But I think that's why he is this color. But this gray color is actually pretty neat. It's not normal to say that about gray, but he has an appealing color scheme. He's got the red under part of his abdomen there, I guess is what you call that body piece. Whatever. It is the Siege mold, not the Kingdom mold, so he's the Cybertronian-ish, not the Earth-ish version.
I'm actually surprised by that.
I am too, but Velocitron is not Earth, so I'm guessing that's why that happened.
That makes perfect sense when you think about it.
Yeah. I kind of would.
But this is a race that has a freaking hauler truck in it, so
who knows? I don't know.
I kind of forget like which mold is which as it is anyway.
Well, there are only two Earth modes: Sideswipe and Red Alert. The rest are all Cybertronian.
Are you sure that this one is not the Earth mold?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was, and Randall said it was too in the chat.
Like the Earth mold, man. I'm like holding them together.
Uh oh.
I think that you got that wrong, man.
Did I get it wrong?
I think you got it wrong.
Oh no! Christian
no.
isn't actually from Earth. He's from Cybertron.
Crap.
The secret's out.
Here, I'll transform him and prove
I was
myself
gonna say,
wrong.
I need to actually grab, like, I don't even have the Cybertronium. Oh, where is that?
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, I don't have mine up right now. I've taken down a
Look
lot
at
of
me
my
out
stuff
here.
for moving things.
I'm trying
Given
to think
misinformation.
if I actually have mine anywhere.
That includes my G2 Sideswipe, which is my only Cybertronian mode. I think.
Yeah.
How do you remember?
I'm pretty sure, man, that this is the Earth mold. I'm almost
Nope.
positive. Almost 100%.
I'm transforming. I'll figure it out.
Forced
How's the
into
paint
transforming.
on yours, Anna? Or wait, no, you said you didn't get it.
Mine's great. It's perfect. It lives
There
in
you
my
go.
brain. Yeah, I skipped that one just because I don't need more of it.
It's Earth.
Looking pretty Earth.
Boy, man, I tell you what. Oh, sorry, Chris.
It's the lack of the spoiler that freaked me out. I guess I need to get the upgrade pieces for that.
But they don't have, none of them have the spoiler, right? That's all forced in the upgrade kits.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, Christian, you're so sad with yourself.
I am. How could I have been so blind? The answer is because it's still... They both look the same. Sorry.
They're
Right.
very similar.
They're
Like,
very
there's not
similar.
a huge change from the Cybertronian mode to the Earth mode. In fact, I'm not sure I actually own an Earth mode.
I was
No, I
Do
silent.
you
think
not
about
have Red
it.
Alert?
No, I don't.
Hmm.
I think I sold that Sideswipe, or I still have him. If I still have him, then I still have the Earth mode. Otherwise, I just have two Cybertronians.
Yeah, I feel like this one's pretty similar, so I like the Earth ones better, but uh-oh. Christian, we lost you.
Yeah, someone called me.
They're a teeny tiny bit better. This one, I do enjoy that Christian, you made his weapon into an axe to have
For the very
parody
first
with.
time. They were like, yes, to have parody with Burnout, yes. But they were like, hey, you can do this ever since Siege Red Alert, and then the other Siege Red Alert, and then the Kingdom Red Alert. And I was like, why? And Deep Cover? Does he have a siren?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But they're like, you can do this crazy axe thing. I was like, why would anyone ever do that crazy axe thing? So for the last hurrah of this mold, presumably, I did the crazy axe thing earlier.
I don't know that
I
I
thought it
would
was
say
funny.
it's going to be the last version of this mold. Like, somehow they'll figure out a way.
Well, this
This
is only the third hurrah for the Earth mode. I could see it getting more.
Oh no, they go back and do everybody again? Oof.
Well,
Probably
it
gonna-
might make some sense to do some people again, just because, like, we just found out today that G2 is, hitting the shelf in the form of SantaCon. So having a G2 Sideswipe print on the shelf, easy to get this time, might be nice. Since it was an annoying 2-pack last time.
Yeah.
The G2 Sideswipe was hard to get?
It was one of the Amazon packs, right?
I thought it was it Amazon? Oh, okay.
It was. Came with
It's not
Slam
hard
Dance.
to get, though, I don't feel like. It didn't go on clearance.
I don't think it was hard to get at the time.
Yeah.
It's
Just
probably
can't
hard to
get it
get now.
Right. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's a white, police car, so it looks a lot like, Red Alert and whatever. So,
Yeah, that's one thing about it. Just like it's so close. I know it's a different character. What is Clampdown actually from, Christian? You're the one I always have to ask this question.
He's a Diaclone original deco that was then brought forward in the eHobby reissues in like 2003.
Does he have any fiction?
Just the bios from that time, and then that time he appeared in the Stupid Wreckers comic.
Was he in it? I don't even remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was in it in the background. Also, he was in the Transformers Club Machine Wars comic, also in the background, just like hanging around.
Okay, so he's been a background person, but he hasn't really ever had fiction.
The biggest fiction he has is from those eHobby bios back in the day, and he law enforcement partners with deep cover.
Okay, that makes sense. Deep cover who also doesn't have a whole lot going for him.
Yep. Except all the deep cover toys are 1-to-1 scale. Because he has a shrinking ability. This should keep me around for.
Hey, that's unique. Only one other Transformer I could think that ever shrunk down that much. That was an Auto Rooper.
Mm.
In
Anyway,
the much beloved Transformers series.
Do you count it like when Megatron transforms into a gun? It's shrinking?
No, because they don't do it in robot mode. That's a different thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really shrinking because he doesn't shrink. He changes into a smaller object.
If deep cover came out
shrinking.
years later, it would have been called an outlier ability. Like Skywarp's teleportation or that sort of stuff.
So anything particularly noteworthy, good, bad about this guy?
I mentioned that he should have red pieces.
Yep.
I made a custom of this several years ago at this point, and it did have that. And this one I like better because it's better paint work than I can do. But it's not such a revelation to have this character appear to me because I've had one on my shelf for 3 years. But he needed to get done.
Sense.
It's nice to see the Earth mode again, even though I thought it was the other one. Yeah, Clampdown. It's definitely not an essential get if you are tired of this mold. I'm not tired of this mold. It's very fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you're, collecting all the Diaclones and whatnot, like in the mainline form, it's a must get. I think otherwise it's like you can skip it. If you're not doing Diaclone, who cares?
Well, he's short packed in the Velocitron wave, but apparently that's not a big deal because he's short packed. The other short pack guy's the big deal. I don't know.
Right.
There's equal numbers of them in the world. Why is one such a storm in a teacup and Clampdown is just like meh, no one cares?
You're not actually asking that question, right?
I know the answer to that question. And it's a dumb answer to that question. Value all characters.
We haven't got a Cosmos toy in forever. It's a unique mold. It's a unique shape. We've got an 18 million cars.
We haven't had a Clampdown since 2003.
Yeah, Clampdown. Again, who has no fiction?
Right. I mean, I would say that like a fair amount of people like our age had a Cosmos when they were a kid.
Cosmos was a cheap toy when we were actual children.
Right. So I think that all the mini bots I think are popular because of that.
I think you're right about that one. Because really, if you think about it, Cosmos hasn't really had a ton of fiction. Like, he showed up.
Well, he had enough a fair amount in IDW.
Yeah, he had enough of a role in that I got to know him a little bit. But as far as, like, really showing up in the cartoon and stuff, not a lot.
It's a weird little dude.
Weird little dude, yeah. But anyway, we're not talking about him. He's forbidden for this show for now.
Yeah, we can't talk about him. Bad things will happen to us if we do.
I think so. If we say his name 3 times, does he appear? Because that would be cool.
No, because there's not any of him in the world. No one was able to. Not a single person was able to get their hands on him. All scalpers only.
Yeah. It's true. There were zero. There were actually zero produced. It's all been a lie. I actually just been taking pictures of like the Magic Square one and scaling it up to be like, this is the toy that came out.
That's the conspiracy. I like
all Photoshop. All Photoshop.
You know who we can talk about though? We could talk about Burnout.
Burnout.
She has
so it's funny.
Her head.
As I was transforming Burnout a minute ago, I realized that I think this is slightly trickier than the MP toy. Because the MP toy is so easy, so simple.
That's nice.
The MP toy is perfect, right? Like, to me, and I know Rob and I argued for hours and hours on the show about this. The MP toy is just like such a good realization of this thing that this one pales in comparison a little, but it's not that bad. Like the truck mode, I heard another reviewer talk about how cheap and crappy this truck mode looked compared to skids. I do not understand that at all. Like, I think it looks the same as skids, and it looks perfectly good in truck mode. Car, not truck.
How is it?
It's a
How does
hatchback.
it look bad compared to skids?
I don't know. I couldn't figure that out.
Yeah, I watched that same review and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, that person
It looks
thought it was
exactly
cheap
the
and
same.
crappier.
The exact same. One is blue, one is black.
It's the
Yeah.
same layout, the same number of paint apps. It's exactly the
Right.
same except for the color. I don't know, man. I think she's neat. I think she needs her correct head. I like this head. It's not hers.
Yeah, so this was my first time playing with the truck mode, and or car, I keep saying truck. It has the profile of a truck, but then you realize how small it is, and it's definitely not a truck.
Think about the
What?
car that you used to drive. It's that size.
I
was
know,
gonna
it's
say,
that
you
small.
have a hatchback. You drive a hatchback, Anna.
I drive a car that was almost this small until I get one that's just a little bigger. But I know, it's not a
So
truck.
it's not-
It just
it's not
has
It's like
a
the
the size of
profile of a
my
truck.
car.
It is. It's cool though. I like it like this. I think, it looks good. It has the actual windows you can look through and enough detail that it looks pretty good with the other car toys. Doesn't
So
have a lot of robot
legitimately,
hanging off of
Anna,
it, just a little bit
like,
under.
if you had gotten this version of skids instead of the MP, like, would you have just kept this one, or would you have been like, oh no, the MP is that far superior to this?
I don't know, not having handled it. So that would be an alternate world where the MP costs as much as most MPs, so it would feel prohibitive, whereas the $80 MP doesn't feel prohibitive to me. So I don't know. I can't answer that question accurately because when I saw the MP version of her announced, I was upset because I do like that mold so much, and I would prefer to have her as that.
Yeah, that
I
was
think
right
I
on the
have
heels
to.
of this release too. That was
Oh
weird.
my goodness. I know. I just sat down and started playing with this one. It was like, guess what? There's a better one coming.
I don't know. I feel like, to me, like, again, I haven't handled the masterpiece. Like, this one is not bad. I know a lot of people complained
Yeah, it's not
about the
bad.
figure before it came out. Well, not this specific one, but the mold, the skids mold or whatever. And I actually think it's like not a bad mold at all. Like,
It's definitely better in person than the initial images made it seem.
It
I
is
do think it's
way better in person.
it's just a little too boxy. But I think I said that on the Skids review that this is as, I'm going to say edgy, but I don't want that to be the word. Not streamlined, boxy, as I want a G1 character to go. Like this is the
Right.
limit.
well, not
Because
even this
they've
one.
kind of they've smoothed out a lot of those angles on a lot of the other characters, and then they're all
Yeah.
present on this mold still. But yeah, still good.
They kept the MP just as boxy though.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's a character.
Yeah, it's a character thing, I guess. I still really do not like the side view on this toy. The side view is
Well,
not nice to it.
I was gonna mention too that since the legs are all black instead of being like silver and blue, like I don't think it's quite as noticed. Just the gaps or whatever are not as noticeable.
I agree with that. Like the darker plastics do hide the gaps better. When we talked about this little robot last week, that side gap on her is actually pretty bad too, but the way the plastic just sits, it covers it up pretty well. I feel like this one is just a little more egregious, so you notice it a little more. Looks better than it did on Skids, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you could play with it. I think it looked like your windshield was kind of up here. That's kind of like a look And then I had mine down here, so it's more compressed.
Yeah, you can push it down a little, yeah. I think that just gets in the way of the waist movement is the only reason I had it back.
Angle the doors back. You can kind of have a thing. Yeah. The accessories are still good, still well painted. I think it's the same silver as skids and the same blue as skids, so nothing we haven't seen. Still nice.
Weird energon weapons. They're always weird.
Yeah. It comes with a weird energon weapon too, so.
If skids goes on clearance, I may grab an extra and paint up a head for Burnout here, and then I can use this one as Screech reboost. I don't know, something. This is the crosscut reboost head. That's who this is. And I get that they would want to differentiate it, but it's not accurate.
So the Diaclone version of this just had the same head as Skids.
Yes.
Because the MP has a new head.
Does it?
Yes, the MP has an actual new head. It looks very similar to the head they gave what's her name? Road Rage. To get a very similar look to it, just the kind of like tougher, meaner, head, but still slightly feminine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Diaclone did have the Skid's head, and so did the BotCon toy of this character. So it's not the biggest deal. It's a nice head. I mean, it looks nice. I'm glad they have this so we can get Crosscut, who is on the list next year, and then Reboost hopefully will be a selects at some point. And Pie in the Sky, I want Skids and Screech too. But that'll probably not happen.
Yeah, it's just interesting how it keeps happening where we get these obscure characters and then we get two of them. You know, we get two deep covers, and then
that was weird.
We've got a million RCs.
It's not even a thing.
No, it was bizarre.
I named mine.
And then this time, and I named mine Deep Blue. We both had creativity attacks with that particular figure. But then it's like, this weird Diaclone Obscurio. Not only does she get two figures, one announced during the release of the second one, but two new heads that haven't ever been on her before.
Very strange.
Yeah, it's interesting that like a nobody would get that much attention all at once. It makes you just wonder if there isn't just like one person in the like mix of all the different developers who just starts like screaming a certain character's name in like voice chats and text chats, because that would be the Hasbro team and the Hasbro team picking up on it at the same time.
I kind of think it's just them making sure they do every single repaint, and with the 84-85 molds, that's easy to do.
Sure.
I would be convinced of your theory if the Diaclone guys in Selects had names.
It's true.
But they don't.
They don't, which is weird.
Lift Ticket has one, but he had a pre-existing name that BotCon came up with. So I don't know. Why?
And this character had a pre-existing name too, right?
Yes. Same set. They came together. Lift Ticket and Burnout.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm glad they're doing Diaclone. I wish they would give them characters for ones that don't have pre-existing characters, but
me too.
I can fill that in, I guess.
Yeah,
or the Legends manga might eventually fill it in. Is it still called that?
I don't know.
Not around. Whatever. The manga that's over there.
Are they still continuing that as a pack-in?
Yes. Or at least, maybe not a pack-in. At least it's online, because I've seen pages with the Velocitron dudes in the Speedia 500.
Oh, yeah. I saw that too.
They're doing
because
stuff.
It had the Race Girl Nightbird.
Yep. And it had...
that is just so indicative of that person's art style.
It had Burnout's driver, Daya, for human partner.
Oh, right. Which is kind of getting represented in the MP, sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
It is coming with the driver. It's a translucent Carly, but
Yeah, close enough. It's better than one of Scoop's Target Masters. That was a weird decision.
it would be a weird thing to put with her, yeah.
But they did. That's what happened.
Yeah, so I'm just a bit bummed about this, just because if I would have known about the MP, I would have never gotten this. Because I would have just waited for the MP because I really want that. And I still have to go get it. So eventually this will be on my table at some toy convention for sale.
There you go.
I'll sign it.
Sad.
It ruined the value.
It's another cool entry in the Diaclone line that we're getting right now. I don't know why it's over at Walmart. I don't know why there were 2 Diaclone characters in one wave. I don't make wave assortments. I wish I did. I really wish I did, but I don't. It's nice to have them. I'm glad they're here.
This is a weird and interesting wave assortment.
It is a weird and interesting wave assortment.
Yeah, definitely.
I like this a lot more than I thought I would. Like the different, the amount of articulation on it's good. The fact it has wrists and ankles, and it does have a functional waist as long as you don't let the back of the car get in the way of it. It really is better than I thought it was. It still has the proportions issues that I thought it did, and the arms still kind of hang funky compared to how I feel like they should. But overall, I like it a lot more than I thought I would. More than bad, it's just ever so slightly boring.
Yep. That's what I...
What a convoluted opinion to have.
I'm all about the convoluted opinion.
I like her a lot, but she's boring. No, that's fair. I mean,
we all have a lot of Transformers these days.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
So in order to really get me excited, it has to do something new and different. And this one just does the same things, but it does it fine. And there haven't really been a lot of takes on the G1 skids over the history.
3, 4.
Yeah. I'm surprised you get to 4. The original,
the
this
G1
one.
Itself.
Okay.
Yeah. Alternators.
Okay. That's 3.
MP.
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. That's 4. I agree.
I didn't include the IDW one because that's not really that close.
No, it's totally different. Cool. Doesn't move very well, but it's cool.
It is cool. I'd like to see that design revisited somewhere else.
Yeah, it looks neat on the shelf, but then every time I pick it up, I'm like, ooh, this thing is just pooping out its flaws at this point.
Not good.
So yeah, this is cool. If you feel attracted to the figure in any way, it's not going to disappoint you.
Nope.
If you're worried about it, it's totally skippable because it's a nobody. Unless you're excited by Diaclone or having a new woman character or anything like that.
Again, if you want to get the Diaclone,
this is one of them.
Here she is. Go get her. Pretty easy to find so far, so don't freak out.
What a boring Optimus-esque head, though.
Not her fault. It's not her head.
I know. I could have gone for anything else, though.
Yeah, I may do something to spruce that up later on. We'll see.
Yeah, you can even just give it a little more color.
I mean, then I'd have to paint it neon orange somehow. That seems like a horrible chore to do. Blue to neon orange.
I had a neon orange phase, and I would not recommend painting things neon orange.
No, it seems like it'd be terrible. I would do it, and it would look awful. I just want Skids and Screech, okay? Come on.
I agree.
One question, have we heard about a loud pedal coming out at some point? I feel like
nope.
I feel like that's one of the few masterpiece repaints that hasn't been done in a mainline as a repaint, right? At this point.
Yeah, I thought Loud Pedal would come in a 2-pack with like Burnout, realistically. Because I thought they would do Crosscut and Reboost as a 2-pack, similar to Coordinate Spin Out. And then we get Loud Pedal and Burnout together as a 2-pack too. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is weird. He is now. What's the word? I lost it. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Conspicuously absent. There we go. Whew.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
I don't
didn't get a
know.
lot of
I
sleep last
assume
night.
at some point we'll get another one because why not? But who knows?
Yeah. Other Dying clones were missing. Official releases of the B and Cliff Jumper opposite colors. Those are micro changes in that Diaclone, but cut me a break here. The Red Mirage, that's a thing that needs to happen.
Oh yeah.
We got Exhaust.
Yeah, but I mean, we never obviously we haven't got a masterpiece of Mirage yet, so I guess I'm just thinking of ones that were a masterpiece. Like,
Oh yeah.
is there a masterpiece that they haven't done a mainline at this point?
Sphinx has been around for so long. I just decided that was Masterpiece Mirage.
Bumblebee Red Bobby.
Yeah.
Anybody else? I'm so far away from Masterpiece now that there could be more that I'm just not thinking of.
Yeah. So.
Hound. Generally just Hound.
Well, they did a Hound.
Birth Mode Hound in the right colors.
Theoretically, so. I was going to mention book club this week is Visionaries 1 and 2.
Visionaries.
Or I'm sorry, Transformers. Is it Transformers versus Visionaries, I guess? Whatever it's called.
I think it's Transformers Heart Visionaries.
Oh, there you go.
But they don't heart them.
No, who hearts Visionaries? Like four
I don't
people.
even know what Visionaries is. Like before that book came out, I had no idea. Now I have the faintest idea.
Yeah, I feel like the advantage that I had that I saw when I saw like the signs of it in the comic, I was like, oh god, this is a Visionaries tie-in. That didn't make me feel better about how stupid the tie-in was.
Oh, what a weird era of IDW.
It sure was bad, but in a laughable way that was almost okay.
So if you want to discuss it, come to book club on Sunday night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central on the tftalk.net Discord.
Yeah, I promise we're done with Kids Players now, so people can start to look at our channel in Discord without being scared.
Yeah, Catherine says the fun of the Kiss Players is behind us now. Back to the book club grind.
True.
What a glowing recommendation, Catherine. Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
She
I'm
was
trying to
excited
think.
like I was about doing something different. Kids
Sure.
Players is very different.
Well, I'm trying to think. Like, you guys still haven't gotten through all of Lost Light, right?
No, we're doing it chronologically.
Man, that's.
You know, it might be really fun to cover in book club, Anna. Last Stand of the Wreckers.
Oh yeah, how come you never?
But you've already
covered
skipped that chronological area.
Right.
Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy.
Also, you've
I'd
skipped
rather
Sins of the Wreckers.
I'd rather do the Transformers manga, and I'd rather do the Legends comics, and I'd rather do the My Little Pony crossover and the Star Trek crossover. And
That was an involuntary gag, by the way. I totally didn't put that on. You just said My Little Pony Transformers, and that happened. That happened to me.
that's supposed to actually be good, though.
Yeah, my
Like
kid
as far
liked
as
it.
a piece of fiction, it's supposed to be pretty decent. We did do Sins. Saltron is right.
did
That's the
Sins.
only.
Anna's never.
That's the only
read
record
Last
thing I've ever
Stand.
read.
So like,
Sit.
how do you even understand? Like, that's what I don't understand is like, how do you do Sins but not Last Stand?
Because we started chronologically after Last Stand.
Right, but still, like I feel like it's like you have to do homework and read Last Stand in order to read Sins.
I don't
And
think
you have to read the
everybody.
best piece of Transformers fiction ever written before you read its sequel.
I already did last
What?
week. Kids players.
Blah.
Yeah, I was
Get
trying
out
to
of
think
here.
of a funnier joke for that, but I didn't
We're
get
leaving.
very far.
We're leaving. Good night, everyone.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks to everyone in the chat tonight. Thanks to Zaldron and Catherine, and to Phil earlier as well.
Happy birthday to Peter.
Yes, happy birthday,
Happy
Forever Destron.
birthday.
So, and hi to Ron, even though he didn't comment. So, anyway, all right. Well, thanks everyone, and we will see you next week.